Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and I'm doing another video of how to play a certain type of hero better on console. And last time I did this, it was with Genji, and the time I did it before that was with Widowmaker. So I take you guys' comments very serious, and I do it for the next video. And I saw lots of comments of do a McCree video, or do a Torbjorn video, or do a May video. So I decided to do Diva. I don't know. So I know not a lot of people ask for a Diva training method, so if you want to see here, like you really want to see here, let me know in the comments down below, like yell at me, I don't really care, just do something, let me know that you really want to see a certain type of hero of how to practice. But with this Diva training method, there's two main reasons why I want to do this. So the first reason is because I was on YouTube watching a Zobrad video, right, and he's been playing a lot to police Diva, and like, so I'm not like a Diva main, I don't know every little tiny aspect about Diva, but I do know kind of little things that you can practice, and I was watching this man's ultimate placement, and it wasn't the greatest, and he's been playing Overwatch for kind of a long time, so I'm thinking a lot of people probably fall under this category of maybe you don't know everything about Diva, because yes, she is a pretty straightforward hero, and a lot of people forget that there are little aspects about her that are a little bit more difficult that you don't get to practice. So that's why I want to make this video, just to possibly help you out with the 4 different things that are about Diva, which I will explain on the video more in depth. But the first thing is just her simple firing mechanism when she's actually in her mech. The second thing is when she is baby Diva and she's firing her pistol, how you can practice that. The third thing is her defense matrix and flying ability. I kind of just mesh that all into one little aspect. And then the last thing, which is the main thing which we're going to practice in this video, is her ultimate placement, which is pretty harder when I actually got more in depth with it. So there's going to be a lot of things that I will talk about with her ultimate placement. And now the second reason why I wanted to make this video is because this is probably going to be the most fun training method I put out on YouTube. So I did Widowmaker, I did Genji, those are pretty straightforward and they are pretty fun, but I mean this one I was having a blast with and I was still practicing, and I think that's the best thing about a training method that I want to try to implement, is just having the ability to have fun. So you will see later on in the video what I mean by that. So let's just start the video. I wasted too much time with the intro, but I usually drown out the intro because there's a lot of explaining I need to do. But let me know of any other heroes that you want to see me do in the near future. So like most of my training methods, they're all going to start here in the arcade. We're going to go all the way to the right to create a game. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add AI. For Diva, it was a little bit tricky finding a good AI hero, but for this method we're just going to stick with Lucio. I hope they can add other AIs like Pharah and Tracer, but for right now we're just going to stick with Lucio. Difficulty, leave as easy. Count, we want a happy medium. We're just going to leave it at 6. You don't want to go too low and you don't want to go too high. For team, we're going to add to team 2, and boom, we added the Lucio AI. Pretty simple. Now here where things are going to get a little bit tricky and spicy and you have to pay attention. So presets and lobby, these first 2 tabs we're not going to be messing with, but for modes, this is where you definitely have to pay attention. So assault, turn off. Assault escort, turn off. Escort we're going to turn off too, but control we're going to leave on. Now you have to do this for Diva. So map control points, turn to second. First is going to be, I think, lighthouse. Third is going to be ruin. Second is going to be well, and you need to go on the well map, and that's the only setting you need to change. Do not change any settings in all. You don't need to do any of that. So maps here, we're going to turn all of them off except for Elios. I thought it was Elios. I was stupid. I kept pronouncing it like that. So anyway, here where things are also getting a little bit spicy. So for Lucio, we're going to change a lot of settings. So amp it up, we're going to turn to off. Crossfade, we're going to leave on. Sound wave, we're going to disable. Quick melee, disable. Sound ultimate ability, we're going to disable too. So damage dealt, turn all the way to 10%. Damage received, leave at 100%. Healing dealt, we're going to change all the way to 10%, and healing received, we're going to change to 10%. And that's the only settings you need to change. Do not turn receive headshots only on. You might cheat yourself later in this training method, but I'm going to just keep on saying do not cheat yourself throughout this whole video, so I apologize if I keep repeating that. And that's all you need to change for Lucio. Now for Diva, you're going to change just a few settings. So for booster cooldown time, you're going to just go all the way to 0%. This way you always have some sort of booster at your disposal. You don't have to wait 5 seconds. You're not going to change any other settings. Defense matrix, just keep all this. But here for ultimate generation, you're going to change all the way to 500%. Do not go backwards, because then it's going to take a bunch of years to get your ultimate. Just change to 500%. And then right here also, you want to change damage received to about 10%. This way that you're not getting out of your mech, you're always staying in it, and this is a training method. Obviously this isn't gonna be a real life game scenario. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so that's all you need to do, and then you don't need to change any other settings. You don't even need to change receive headshots only, because you're not going to be getting a lot of damage taken to you. And that's all you need to do. And now a good thing about this, now that you have all your settings, you can just easily save as presets. You need to press left bumper on Xbox or PlayStation 4, and then boom, I'm just gonna name it like something simple and cute, like, I don't know, like Diva, just simple like that, add a few A's so I know that this is it. And then you need to save it, and boom, every time you want to practice Diva, you can just go to your presets, and it's going to be right there. Well, I already had the training method right there, but Anabots, and then here it is, Diva, you just need to load it in. The only second thing that you need to do is just add AI every single time, but it's all good. Now that we got that all set up, now we're going to go into the actual training method and start practicing Diva. So like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to be looking at 4 different aspects of Diva that you can practice in this training method. Some of this will be easier and obvious stuff, the other stuff will be a little bit harder, and where this training method will excel at. So you can see on the screen right here that my reticle is changed to just a circle with bloom off, and if you're wondering how you can change this, so pretty much you just gotta go controls. If you want to change it to Diva specifically, you just turn bloom off. You have to turn it off so it's not the big old circle. You have to change it to circle, which originally I had as dots, but I feel like circle is just a little bit better. For color, I found that it really doesn't matter, whereas hit scan it kind of does, but I just change it to green because hey, it can contrast again, which is really good. So the good way about this is that my brain, when looking at this reticle, it thinks of it as the safe zone. So if we're just looking right here, like it's a shotgun form. The closer you are, the more bullets are going to be less spread out. The farther away you are, the more they're going to be spread out. So with Diva, you have to kind of be up close, and with this, you're just simply going to be aiming for Lucio, and you're just going to try to aim for the head. And this is where you can cheat yourself, because hey, I'm just going to aim for the body, but you just have to get used to when playing Diva, just try to aim close to the head. I mean, with Diva, she is a little bit more forgiving because hey, it is a little bit more shotgun-y, but again, changing reticle, my brain is now thinking like, okay, I'm on the safe zone. You're not going to be getting hella headshots like with McCree and whatnot, but at least with this way, you're going to be aiming for the head a lot more, whereas if your reticle wasn't like this, your brain's going to think, okay, the safe zone is more up here, but you're not really getting the full potential. You can see I'm obviously missing right here, but I'm trying to imagine the old reticle on Diva, whereas right here, okay, the safe zone is right there. I know that was a little bit drowned out, but I just wanted to explain why my reticle was like that, and how you can practice, especially with Lucio when firing your mech. So now the next thing that we're going to practice is going to be Baby Diva, and I feel like this is something that not a lot of people practice, and rightfully so, because you're not really going to be out of your mech all the time. You should always try to be inside your mech, but the good thing about Diva and her baby pistol is that it is still very powerful, and you can still get a lot of kills with it, which again, not a lot of people like to practice, but it's still hard to use. So again, this is just a good training method to, okay, I'm going to focus on this Lucio, try to aim for the head more, and again, this is also where you're going to kind of cheat yourself, but the good thing about this is that in a real game scenario, you're not really going to be going kill house with this Baby Diva pistol. You're going to do it to try to get your mech back, which I obviously already have it back because my raid is at full charge, but a good thing about this is that it's just a little thing that maybe you're not good with the pistol. If you get used to it, like the timing of it and just leading your shots, which this isn't a hit scan, I mean obviously, but if you just practice this a little bit and you're put in a situation where you can't get in your mech and you have to go a little Baby Diva, well hey, you practiced it a bunch in this training method and now you're going to be a lot better. So just a little something that in this training method you also can and you should practice, because every now and then you're going to have to go Baby Diva and go kill house. So the next thing that you can practice with this training method is flying in defense matrix. Now it can be a total weenie and say, oh, the best way to practice defense matrix is just to hold down left trigger and just deflect a bunch. Okay, I can be like that type of guy, but I wanted to combine this. So the way that I like to use defense matrix, and I see a lot of other Diva pros do, is fly and also use the defense matrix at the exact same time. This way you can get in the enemy's face, and what this does is that, hey, I'm going to be able to get in the back line, I'm going to be able to focus this Lucio, and I'm able to get in his face and just shoot a bunch. So if you were just to walk up to them and just do like that, yeah, you can do this, but at least this way, you're one, able to get a boop right away, which it does do a little bit of damage, but you're also able to get in their face, and also to continue to practice the first aspect, which is just a regular firing mechanism, which you need to get in front of the enemy's face to be able to succeed at, especially with Diva. So here's the last thing that you can do in this Diva training method, is using her ultimate ability, which I feel like a lot of people need practice with, including myself. So this is something that I see a lot of new D.Va players use. They get their ultimate, which obviously her ult is just her mech self-destructing. It's going to be insta-kill if you're right next to it. So I'm going to just use it stand still, and this is something that a lot of new D.Va players use. But you can even see, well, obviously I got a kill right there, but even the bots moved out of the way. So imagine doing that same exact thing against human players. They're going to move out of the way. Human players are not dumb. I know a lot of people like to say they are, but they're going to find cover. They're going to get behind the Rhine shield. They're going to get inside of a Winston bubble, whatever the case may be. So if you just simply stand still and just place like that, they're going to get out of the way, and you just wasted D.Va's ultimate, which is one of the most powerful ultimates in the game, but I feel like one of the hardest to use in a sense, even though it is pretty straightforward. So here is how you can practice it. So here are where things are going to get a little bit more complicated. So you have to remember, no matter what, if you're going to use your ultimate, the D.Va mech is always going to fly in the air for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, and then gravity's going to bring me down, and it's going to bring me down to the ground. So most of the time, you're not going to be able just to look up in the sky and fly like that. So what you have to do is get a little bit fancy with it. So what I like to do, and again, this is going to come with practice and just come with timing, but this is where the training method really comes in place. So I'm on the ground for 1 second, I'm on the ground, okay, I have to eject a little bit sooner because I was on the ground for a little bit longer. So here's where the fun starts for the training method. You're probably wondering why I took you to well rather than lighthouse or ruins. It's because of this single well right here. So the main part about this single training method, other than the other ones, is that you're not trying to kill all these Lucios. You're aiming for this little well. You're trying to be Michael Jordan. You're trying to be Kobe Bryant. You're trying to be Steph Curry with the pot boy. I think I messed up. Either way, what you're trying to do is aim your mech for that little well. You're not trying to get any kills. The whole point about this is just trying to learn arcing and aim with your mech. So here is just a simple little example. Boom, right there. And I'm trying to aim for that. And nothing but net. I aim for it right there. What I see a lot of new D.Va players do is that, yes, they might try to use the momentum to try to toss their mech and try to get a few kills, but they're just kind of blindly aiming. They haven't really practiced using their mech ultimate, and they haven't really practiced just aiming or just timing it up. At least with this, you can use many different angles, and what's most effective is just using it from far away and having it explode right there. You're trying to eliminate as much time of the exclamation triangle as much as possible. So here's another example. Boom. Boom, and it's still using the momentum. So even though I didn't make it entirely in the well, that's still good. I got a double kill. That wasn't the main priority of that whole thing, but you can see that I'm aiming for the well, and it's just a lot of fun. If you just continue to do this, it's a whole lot of fun. It's like a mini game. It's like playing basketball, but you're still practicing. Again, you want to try to do it from many different angles. This is the most beneficial way to use your ultimate. So the only problem with this is that you don't want to go too high because, okay, let's say this. I'm going to use your ult, but it's still using the boost. See that? It's still using the boost. Remember how I said no matter what, whether you use your ultimate or not, it's still going to use the 3-second boost. This is where timing and arcing and just using geometry really comes into play. And I know some of y'all didn't pass geometry. I didn't do that well in that class either. But this is the whole point of the training method. It's just to be able to practice arcing. So let's do it again from, like, say, where's another good angle? Let's say right here. So do this. Boom, right there. The pole kind of got in the way, but nothing but net. I know it didn't go fully in, but I aimed it for right there. So that's the whole point of being on well and just being on this map, is being able to aim it for this little hole. And I just found this to be a lot of fun. When I was just testing this training method out, I was having so much fun because, one, I'm being able to just aim it and I'm practicing. And it's just something different. I haven't seen anyone really make this training method on YouTube, and I feel like it could be very beneficial for a lot of D.Va mains. Let's just do it on this side right here. So you can just kind of see the gist of it, that you're just trying to time it up, not trying to ult too soon, and you're not trying to ult too late. So let's just say this. I did it too late. Okay, that was still kind of good, but again, see, like, it went on the ground, but in a regular game scenario, it's probably just going to go on the ground, and the exclamation point is just going to be, like, totally out there in the blue. So that's just a little training method for D.Va. Hope this video did help. I know it was a little bit longer, but there's a lot of aspects that I wanted to explain for D.Va. So hope this video did help. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.